Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Filmetal Fukumi Otaku News. So just like the previous episode, I'm going to start with a quick self-PR segment where I talk about my coffee. So I'm trying to do some articles there every week to talk about the stuff I like and some like the gaming industry, Seiyu industry and otaku stuff in general, and some Genshin stuff and some Heaven Burns Red and some Super Robot Wars and some pretty series, etc. So I'm trying to do some articles there, and I'm also streaming. Like I'm streaming on Twitch every Mondays. I'm trying to do this stream at all costs every week, and then I'm trying to stream from time to time on Thursdays, on Tuesdays, and on the weekend. So this isn't really a set in stone schedule, except for the Monday stream. I'm trying to do it at all costs, but like the other days, it's just an indication of when I will be streaming. And so yeah, so if you like what I'm doing, I'd really appreciate it if you can like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that helps me out with the algorithm to push my videos. Like it's really weird to ask this like a YouTuber, like and subscribe and stuff, but it does help out and it's free. So if you can take a few seconds to do it, I will really appreciate it. So Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo, every Mondays they're going to reveal one of the new girls appearing in Venus Vacation Prism, Dead or Alive Extreme. The the Galge and Romance full 3D visual novel that they announced at Tokyo Game Show 2024. So I made a video explaining the game and translating all the information they revealed at the reveal showcase at TGS. So if you haven't watched the video yet, you should watch it. It's around 30 minutes long, and I translated everything and shared my guesses on who the 6 characters will be. And like I said, it's very likely it's going to be the characters who got a true color outfit in the gacha game. And so just as expected, the second character they reveal is one of these characters, and it's Fiona. And Fiona is one of the OG characters that was made for Venus Vacation. She was released in the game like around 3 or 4 years ago or something. Like I'm saying, like in my video, like she looks a little bit different in this game when compared to the gacha game. So they reveal a short teaser trailer as well. So yeah, every Mondays they're going to reveal this kind of short teaser trailers to reveal one of the 6 characters. And just like I was saying about Misaki, like Fiona looks a little bit different as well. Like she's how she looks like in the gacha game. And I opened my own account of the gacha game, so this is how she looks like in the gacha game. So yeah, she looks a little bit different. But yeah, like I've seen mixed receptions from Japanese fans. Like I've seen some people saying that she looks weird. I've seen people saying she looks okay. And personally, I think she looks okay. And like she definitely looks different, but I don't think she looks bad or anything. So it's kind of something that will inevitably happen with 3D games, because when it comes to anime games, if the characters they only have some 2D portraits, like even if the technology changes and even if there's a sequel or there's a new game or a spin-off, as long as the character designer is the same and the artist is the same, the character is going to look the same overall. But with 3D games, like if you're changing the 3D engine, if you're changing technology, if you're changing the models, inevitably the characters will be looking different as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So yeah, like she looks different, but I don't think she looks particularly bad or anything. So like I'm still looking forward to this game and what they will do, and I'm definitely going to get it like on the DMM games on PC with the PC version. So yeah, they're updating the sites. They updated the site now with they're updating the key visual, and now they added Fiona. So each girl they reveal they're going to add her to the banner. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about this. So now to talk about some Super Robot Wars. So on October 2nd, there was an art book that released, an art book of Yamane Rihiro, alias Yamane Masahiro. So he's an animator and a mecha designer that's been active for over 40 years. Like he's not that popular, like he's not a name you hear often, but he's like a very important animator and very influential and like very like very prolific. He worked on many things these 40 years, and most notably, he often, like he nearly always works with Obari Masami. Obari Masami, very legendary animator and mechanical designer, etc. And animator, like every Sakuga Buta knows about Obari, right? So Yamane Rihiro is not as popular as Obari, but like he's like his sidekick in a way. Like they're always together and they're always working together. If you look at the table of contents of the art book, for example, like you can see like all the stuff Yamane Rihiro worked on. Like he worked on the Yusha series, so Maito Gain, Gao Gaiga, Bitterman, Gao Gaiga versus Bitterman, Reiba, Bangarn, and then on the Gundam series, like the original Gundam, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta, Victory, G Gundam, Wing, X, Turn A Gundam, and the Seed series, and he was on the Seed Freedom movie as well. And like on Super Robot Wars, he also did the villains in Super Robot Wars DD, like the two villains in Super Robot Wars DD. He's the one who designed them. In Super Robot Wars L, he also did the Rushbird, the original mecha, the protagonist mecha in Super Robot Wars L. So yeah, so he's a really prolific animator, and like he also worked on many Sunrise shows like Zabungle, like Samurai Troopers, Yoroiden Samurai Troopers, and Brigadoon, and yeah, and the Super Robot series. And there's also some other stuff like Gunsword, Rayars, like tons of stuff. He worked on tons of stuff. And most notably in the art book, there's some interviews with him and Obari. So like this is very interesting stuff. Like I definitely gotta read this stuff at some point one day if I can, if I have the time. So yeah, the art book just got released on October 2nd, and there's no digital version sadly. So like hopefully they will release a digital version one day, but like for now there's no digital version. So yeah, you can look at the samples. Like you have the Yusha series, like you have Gao Gaiga, you have some Gundam with Zeta Gundam. And you have Seed Freedom. This is like I forgot what its name is. The thing that the Strike Freedom gets in the Freedom movie. So yeah, he's a really prolific animator. So this is a really cool art book. Like I really gotta get it at some point. And yeah, he worked on tons of my favorite series of all time, like Godanna, Shinkon Gattai Godanna, really good series. Gunsword, really great series as well. Like you should watch this stuff if you never did. And yeah, so if you look at Sakuga Buru, like you can see worked on tons of stuff. Like this is Tekkaman Blade. This is like Tekkaman Blade episode 3 or 4 when Blade is fighting against Dagger and he managed to defeat Dagger after using the Volt Tekka for the first time ever. Dagger is voiced by Kami's voice actor, by the way. I forgot his name, but he's the guy who's voicing Kami and who's voicing what was his name? Ganlon in the OG series as a pilot of Oryuo. And so yeah, he worked on Tekkaman Blade, he worked on the Fatal Fury movies as well, the Garou Densetsu movies, because he also always works with Obari, so he worked on the Fatal Fury movies. So he's a really famous animator, but sadly, like even myself, like because I'm not a Sakuga Buta, is not the kind of name I remember often. So this art book kind of reminded me of him. So I really gotta get this art book at some point and like read the interview and stuff. And yeah, and if you follow like animators on Twitter and stuff, like Obari Masami has been advertising the book because he worked on it. He basically made the book together with Yamane, so they pretty much made the book together. So Obari has been talking about it on Twitter a lot and saying you should buy the book. And there's another animator as well, Kabashima Yosuke. He said that reading the interview between Yamane and Obari, it made him cry. So it's definitely some pretty funny, some pretty cool interviews. So hopefully I will be able to translate it maybe one day, inshallah, we'll see. But yeah, this is a really cool looking art book. I'm definitely gonna get it. So this got announced back in September and I didn't have the time to talk about it yet, but like there's a Pixel Cross Rune Factory crossover that got announced. It's going to release in 2025, And Rune Factory, like I'm always saying, is one of my favorite series of all time. I already talked about it multiple times in this news show. And like, this is very interesting because it's based on Rune Factory 5, but like there's going to be multiple things from all of the Rune Factory series. Like these are the protagonists, the Rangers from 5, right? Like it's clearly based on 5 and with the same graphics and the same style as Rune Factory 5. But like if you look at the description of the game, there's most notably a bestiary and a library of the characters. So yeah, as a huge fan of the Rune Factory series, like this is a really big argument for me to buy this game. Because like for example you have this girl from Rune Factory 4, right? So it's not only the 5 characters, there's going to be an encyclopedia with all the characters and all the monsters, like a compendium to learn more about the characters of Rune Factory. So it's pretty like appealing for me. And one funny anecdote I have about this kind of games is personally I'll always call them picture puzzles because picture puzzle was the first game of this kind of this genre I played back when I was a kid. Picture puzzle, it was on Neo Geo Pocket Quarter. I played this like in emulation in the early 2000s. Obviously, I never owned an actual Neo Geo Pocket myself. So this is one of the games I was playing on the console in emulation with SNK versus Capcom and SNK versus Capcom Card Fighters, etc. I was playing picture puzzles, so that's why I never say Picross. Like nowadays, I think like these kind of games they got extremely popular starting the late 2000s, in my opinion. I think like outside Japan at the very least, but people started saying Picross. Personally, I always say picture puzzle because this is the first game I played is picture puzzle, so it's pretty funny. And like you can see, right? This was back on Neo Geo Pocket. And yeah, so Rune Factory, like I always say, is one of my favorite series of all time. I already talk about Ryu no Kuni is the next game that's going to release in 2025 as well, and how it's a spin-off of a spin-off, and it's kind of a spiritual sequel to Rune Factory Oceans, Rune Factory Tides of Destiny, which was on PS3 and the first Wii. So yeah, I'm pretty like this. I'm not a big fan of Picross, to be honest. Like I used to like playing picture puzzle, but I'm not that much of a big fan of it. But since I really like Rune Factory, I might actually buy this game. And the sole thing like I'm kind of worried about is like the studio, Kadokawa, not Kadokawa, Marvelous. Marvelous is the IP holder of the Rune Factory series, and they lent the license to this studio called Score Studios and Rainy Frog, and they are the ones who are doing this Pixel Cross series. And I never heard about this Pixel Cross series, so I don't really know like how good it is. And also, yeah, see, it's written here, Marvelous. Because Marvelous are the owners of the copyrights owners of Rune Factory, and yeah, so I never heard about Score Studios, so like I'm not sure like if the game is actually going to be good, like is the translation is actually going to be good, because yeah, one reason I wanna buy this is for the compendium with some details on all the characters, and like if the translation is bad, like obviously I can always read it in Japanese anyway, but yeah, so I never heard about this studio, so I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm pretty excited for this, so I wanted to quickly talk about it. So Fantasia Bunko alias Kadokawa, they announced they're making a special movie from Full Metal Panic Family, and they announced this on October 1st, and they didn't say when the special movie is going to release yet. So what a special movie is usually when it comes to light novels and when it comes to manga, special movies are just like drama CDs but with illustrations. So it's very likely it's not going to be animated or anything. You're just going to get illustrations with the characters and the seiyuu speaking over the illustrations. So Full Metal Panic Family, if you didn't hear about it yet, it was launched in last year for the 25th anniversary of the Full Metal Panic series. It started in May 2023 in Monthly Dragon magazine, with a first chapter, with a preview of the first chapter. And since then, like there's been one chapter every 2 months or so. And the first chapter was released in full in the monthly Dragon magazine of July 2023. So, and after that, the first volume, it was released in January 2024. So yeah, it's taking place 20 years after the ending of the series. You have Sousuke and Kaname were married with their children. So you have their first daughter, Natsumi. She's in high school, and basically Sousuke trained her, so she's like just as strong as Sousuke, basically. And then you have their son. I forgot his name. I think it's Yasuto. Like I don't really know how to read the kanji, but I think the kanji for his name is read as Yasuto. And he's in grade school, and he's a hacker, a genius hacker, basically. So the second volume of the light novel is going to release on November 20, and they announced like there's going to be a special movie, but they didn't say when the special movie is going to release. And so yeah, so Full Metal Panic is one of my favorite series of all time. So to give you a rundown, like originally the first light novel by Gato Shoji, it was released from 1908 to 2010 with like one volume per year with 12 volumes in total. And like the anime, sadly, the anime, they never did all of the light novels. Like the first adaptations were in the early 2000s, and that's how I discovered the series. And then in 2018, there was a new season that adapted more of the light novel years, like over 15 years after season 3. But sadly, they still haven't adapted all the endings. So if they ever make an anime for Full Metal Panic Family, they will first need to make an adaptation of the ending. And another thing you need to know is there was already a first sequel to Full Metal Panic called Full Metal Panic Another. It was taking place 8 years after the end. 12 years, sorry. It was taking place 12 years after the ending of the first Full Metal Panic series, but it's not a direct sequel because it's new characters. There are some characters that are linked to the past characters. I'm not gonna spoil who is who, but like there are some characters who are linked to the older characters, but Sousuke and Kaname, they don't appear, like they don't really appear in this. So Full Metal Panic Family is like a real sequel. It's taking place 20 years after the ending, so it's taking place 8 years after Another. So that's a sequel to Another in a way. And so yeah, so I haven't started reading it yet, but I know a little bit because I read the synopsis. So I'm really excited for this special movie, and I really gotta read this novel at some point. And so yeah, so you have Shiki Doji is still the illustrator. Like she's a very popular illustrator and character designer. She's working on many, many novels, and she was always the original character designer and illustrator for Full Metal Panic. And so they announced the cast for the special movie, and obviously Sousuke is still going to be voiced by Seki Tomokazu, legendary seiyuu who's voiced many many characters. His first major role was Domon in G Gundam. So since the 90s, he's been voicing many characters. He was Isaac in Gundam Seed. He is this guy, like most newer anime fans, they know him for this guy. I think it's the Snake Pillar or something in Kimetsu. So most younger anime fans, they know him for this, but like he's been voicing for 30 years, and obviously he is Gilgamesh in the Nasuverse, and he was the first voice of Keisuke Takahashi in Initial D. Like he did many many roles over the years. Like he is also Kogami-san in Psychopass, and many popular roles. So yeah, and meanwhile, Yukino Satsuki is returning to voice Chidori Kaname. So Yukino Satsuki is also a legendary seiyuu. She's most notably Mion and Shion in the Higurashi series. She voiced many other characters as well. She voiced Yoruichi. She voiced seeing Momiji in the Conan series. I really like her. Like she was very funny in the latest in this year's Conan movie. She was a really good addition to it in my opinion. So yeah, Yukino Satsuki, like she was Kagome in Inuyasha. She is Taeshimura in Gintama. Like she did many characters over the years as well. So they Tomokazu Seki Tomokazu and Satsuki Yukino are coming back to voice Sousuke and Kaname in the special movie. So in case they ever make an anime, they will be voicing them again as well. And they also revealed the seiyuu for their kids. So the daughter Natsumi, she's going to be voiced by I think her name was I opened it Yuikawa Asaki. So yeah, Natsumi, she's their daughter, the daughter of Kaname and Sousuke. She's being voiced by Yuikawa Asaki. Like she's a pretty new seiyuu, so I don't really know. I don't really know about her. Um, so no, wait, I'm mixing it up. So that's not that's a seiyuu for the son. The seiyuu for the daughter, I think like I opened it up here as well. Yeah, it's Tsuchiya Rio. Tsuchiya Rio is the seiyuu for the daughter, and like she's very new, so I don't really know her roles. She was in Shikanoko. Like this is like probably a most popular role because it's like got really popular. She's Madoka Higuchi in Idol Master Shiny Colors. She's Hinano in Pole Princess. Pole Princess, I gotta watch it at some point because most of the staff working on it are the staff who worked on Prism. Most notably is the CG director Otobe Yoshihiro. He is a CG director of Prism and Pole Princess. And yeah, so because I don't watch many seasonals, like I used to watch anime every season like for 20 years and then I stopped. So this means like the newer seiyuu, I don't really know them. I'm not really that familiar with them. And Tsuchiya Rio, like I don't think she did any role I know about. Like if you look at her list of roles, like she didn't really do anyone I know about. She is Misaki in Blue Archive. Like I don't really know who this is because like, I often say, like I jokingly say that I'm a Blue Archive hater. So I don't really know the characters, but yeah, she's Misaki in Blue Archive, and like I don't think she did any particularly big role. So yeah, so Natsumi, the daughter, starts Tsuchiya Rio, and the son is voiced by Yuikawa Asaki. And Yuikawa Asaki, she's got really popular lately because she's voicing the Shota character in Nige Jozu. Like she's got really popular, like with a lot of people, with a lot of Shotakon. Like it got really popular. And she also voiced this girl in Reynatis. Like Reynatis, I only heard bad thing about it ever since the game it got released. Sadly, I didn't get the time to play it myself, but I'm sure there's some good things in the game. Like I know about Yuikawa Asaki a little bit because she was on the Reynatis live stream back in March. I translated this live stream on my blog, so if you're interested in Reynatis, you should check it out. She was on the live stream. Yuikawa Asaki. So she's voicing the Gyaru like girl. She's voicing her. So yeah, Reynatis, I still haven't had the time to play it yet, but like I heard only bad things about the game sadly, but I still wanna try and play it myself to make my own opinion. But yeah, so these are the four seiyus that's going to appear in the special movie. So I guess if they ever make an anime for Full Metal Panic Family, they definitely need to make an anime to finish the original series first. And then Full Metal Panic Another, like I don't think it's that popular, so I don't think they will make an anime for it, especially because it's already over. But like, there's definitely like it's definitely possible that Kadokawa they end up funding a Fullmetal Panic Family anime in a few years. So if this happens, obviously the seiyuu that they picked for their children in the special movie, they will be coming back for the anime adaptation. So yeah, I really gotta read the manga, the novel, because like I'm saying, this is one of my favorite series of all time. So it's pretty funny that they're making a sequel now. Gato Shoji is making a sequel. It's technically it's to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the original series that they made this. So I gotta read it at some point. So yeah, so you have Natsumi. Nana, she's called Nana. Nami. That's how she's pronounced. I've been saying Natsumi because that's how you would normally read this kanji, but it's actually read as Nami. So yeah, you've got the daughter Nami, and basically Sousuke trained her so she can fight just as good as him. And then you have Yasuto. Yeah, Yasuto, I did read it correctly. I googled it just in case. So yeah, I was reading it properly for Yasuto. And like Yasuto is like a genius hacker or something. So yeah, lately, one last thing I want to talk about is lately the illustrator of Fullmetal Panic, Shikidoji. She's in an event at Taiwan, and she made a special illustration for the event as well. So a really really cool illustration. I wanted to show this. So yeah, I think that's all for this episode. Like I've been stumbling a little bit because it's been a while since I recorded an episode. I'm still going to try and do 3 episodes a week and do some shorter episodes. So yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Like it really helps me out with the algorithm to push my videos. So yeah, Fullmetal Panic. I hope I will be able to talk about it again when they give an actual release date for the special movie. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye. Jana.